Hey, Reg here, and welcome back to the blog. It is day 15 of my 60-day raw food challenge. I am 1/4 of the way through, 1/4 of the way through. So whatever I've done for the past 15 days, I got to do that 3 more times. It's going to be really interesting too because I'm going to see the beginning of the school year. I teach at a university, so I'm going to see. I'm going to be heading back to school. Actually, at the 1 month mark, at the 30-day mark, basically, I'll be starting teaching. It'll be like my first day of teaching. So that'll be interesting. And I don't think my students are really going to notice much of a change. Actually, when I started teaching last year, I was just in a much better place health-wise and like taking care of myself wise. And so they my students actually missed sort of the worst of my falling off the wagon, which happened really during the summer, like in the late part of the spring and the summer. So they probably are not going to notice much of a change, but probably by the time October rolls around, they may actually start noticing some changes. I'm just imagining that there's probably going to be a weight shift in there. So I haven't talked a lot about weight just because that really hasn't been the focus. And I find that for myself personally, when I stress out about weight, it just kind of it makes me do things like not eat enough food because I feel like by restricting calories, that's how I'm going to lose the weight. And so by not thinking about weight and just focusing on eating healthy, I've really kind of demonstrated for myself that choosing the right foods and eating enough of them, even eating a lot of them, is a much more effective for me. Again, a much more effective approach for health, maintaining healthy weight for myself. Interestingly, I came off the Master Cleanse, and yeah, there was definitely a huge drop in my weight, and I'm going to show you guys some pseudo before and after pictures. I'm just not big on the before and after because I really just don't like people to see my body. I'm not a big go to the beach in swimming trunks kind of show the world my body type of person. But I did do like sort of a shot of my midsection where I can show you guys. I'm going to show you guys where I was at halfway through the Master Cleanse. I did not take a before shot. I wasn't even really thinking about blogging when I first started this process, but I did take a shot about halfway through, and that was myself at about 230 pounds. So there's a shot of me at 230 pounds, and then there's a shot that I just took this morning, and that's of me at about 200 pounds. And that's the other news for you guys, is that since I've gone on my all raw food challenge, I've dropped another 5 pounds, and all of this is kind of pseudo because my scale is not great. But according to that scale, which may not be perfectly accurate, I've lost another 5 pounds in the last 15 days since I started the raw food challenge. And I had been kind of holding on at 205 pounds, according to my not perfect scale. I mean, I'm eventually going to have to visit my doctor and get a real accurate weight for you guys. What else? What else is interesting there? Oh, I've been talking about regularity. And interestingly enough, coming off the cleanse, the Master Cleanse that is, I found that I was, having some trouble getting myself regular again. Well, those days are over. Yesterday, just over the past couple of days, I've just noticed that there's been, sort of increasing movement of things through my system, and it's, urinating, certainly, which has not been a problem since I started drinking lots of water, but also now making my bowel movements. I've seen kind of an increase in material, and also an increase in frequency. So like yesterday there were, I made major trips, two major trips, and there was a lot of stuff. Also, another thing is that, and this is getting really, really particular, but it's something that you may want to be aware of, is the amount of paper that I need to use after I've made a bowel movement has decreased. decreased. So whatever is coming out is like a cleaner, it's like cleaner. Everything is just cleaner. So I don't know what that's about, and I can look some stuff up for you guys, but it's stuff on the internet, and or I could go and I can talk to my doctor. But maybe that's something that you guys will be able to yeah, be able to fill me in on. You can do some of that research for me, and maybe leave the information down in the box below. I want to talk to you guys also about what I have been eating. I don't feel like I've been logging that well enough for you guys. Still a lot of smoothies. For example, right now I am halfway through my morning smoothie, which was made with about, I'm going to say 2 to 3 cups of fresh kale. It's the kale that I picked up on the farm this weekend. I've got about a cup of blueberries in there. I've got 1 mango, and I would say about a cup and a half of orange juice, and that's just been in my Vitamix, and it's really tasty. I was thinking about maybe doing like a conversation about Jamba Juice. How like this for me tastes like what Jamba Juice should be. This is what Jamba Juice should be. And not knocking Jamba Juice, because I think it's probably a way that a lot of people get into consuming more by way of fruits, getting more fruits in their diet. But um, you could do it yourself. You could do it yourself. It's maybe a first step, but there's a if Jamba Juice is your the one healthy thing that you're doing in your life, um, uh, do something else. Find something else that you do. Keep doing Jamba Juice, but find something else. Find ways to get more greens in there. But so I don't want to talk too much about like what you should be doing. I'm talking about what I'm doing, right? Um, so definitely still doing a lot by way of smoothies. I am snacking. I do a lot of snacking, and I snack generally on organic dried figs. I snack on medjool dates. I do some snacking on nuts, but not so much. I really tend to like cashews, but maybe I'll have a handful of cashews over the course of the day. I have like almonds that I soaked and then I dehydrated them, so those are kind of like a healthier nut, just because they've been soaked, and apparently soaking is good for you. I did a little conversation about that. I talked about that in one of my earlier blogs, so I won't spend too much time on that. And then I've been making myself, I've been throwing like, greens into the food processor with like nuts and dates, and making myself these like kind of slaw-y dishes. And they're just a way to have something more like solid food. Yesterday I was inspired by my trip to Organic Avenue, and I picked up a portobello mushroom, which I threw into the food processor with some walnuts and some dates and some pine nuts, and a little bit of amino acids, and I was going for a pate, and it was very, very successful. And I took that and combined that with this raw hummus that I picked up at Organic Avenue as well, which was made with zucchini and raw tahini and some other spices, which was really delicious. And I rolled those in fresh romaine leaves, and it was romaine lettuce that I also picked up, that was grown on the farm out here in Red Hook, and made these delicious wraps with just like a mushroom pate and this really creamy zucchini hummus, and they were delicious. And I had 3 of those, so it was 3 romaine leaves wrapped with that. Earlier in the day, I'd also snacked on some hummus with rolled in the romaine leaves as well. So I kind of tested out that romaine wrap earlier. Um, I picked up some. What did I pick up? I picked up some flax crackers at Organic Avenue as well, but I haven't really been eating those yet. I'm just a little bit, the salt that they use in the preparation of some of these, prepared gourmet raw foods is just too much, and I don't want to mess with that. And I guess I'm confusing myself with another person who needs to have crackers to be satisfied, and yeah, I'm just not really needing that. However, chocolate is something that I do find myself really craving, and I picked up a bar of raw chocolate when I was at Organic Avenue as well, and snacked on that. And it was sort of like a treat, because I was at a festival and other people were having things like hot dogs and margaritas, and my kind of cheat was a bar of organic raw chocolate and a bag of fresh cherry tomatoes that I picked up from the farmer's market, the new Amsterdam market over by South Street Seaport, and I think I showed you guys those tomatoes. So that's what I've been doing for food, and really been working hard to make sure I'm consuming enough calories over the day, because I don't want my body feeling deprived. I don't want my body to be storing fat because it thinks that we're in famine mode. And that's kind of one of the things that happens when you restrict calories, is that you're actually kind of conditioning your body to store more fat. So then when you go back to your regular diet, your body is still storing fat because it's preparing for some time in the future when you're going to restrict calories again. What I've been finding is that by not restricting calories, um, my body is not storing fat, obviously, because I'm losing weight, although I'm consuming more by way of calories. So, um, the science of that, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist. I'm just letting you guys know what's working for me. And I'm going to let you see the before and after pictures. Not, you may not see a huge difference. Whatever, I, feel the difference, and I'm satisfied with the results that I'm getting, and I'm going to keep on it for the full 60 days. So at day 15, here's me signing off, and peace.